there's no guests, and so there's no rules. Welcome to the Capital 21
We're off the rails.
podcast, a special episode of No Rules, No Guests. It's all about us this episode. The Capital 21 podcast is a podcast about art, technology, and in particular, timeless art and the technology that makes that possible. I'm Middlemarch, aka Tom, and my co-hosts are Piv and Dovetail. We are Capsule 21. We are an art collective that celebrates all this kind of stuff. This is an amazing podcast with wide readership that prizes us for our interview technique. And so tonight we are shaking it up and interviewing ourselves about our brand new project that our guest, us, has been calling completely game changing, and that is Babylon. So consider yourself prepared for this episode, which is called The Search for Babylon. And it ends with some real spoilers. I'm Tom again, and this is my key light.
This episode is all about lighting.
And this
WWE
is a
Domination
warmer key
says-
light effect.
WWE Domination says, "Good to see your faces." It's good
Aw.
to see yours as well.
Is that like a metaphor or is that literal?
Uh, Literal on his part, metaphorical on mine.
You know, like saying like, it's good to see your face. Kind of just like saying like, hey man, what up? But like you could also have like, it's literally good to see your face. Like
Right.
it's a good face.
So what are we talking about today?
Okay, so we're putting ourselves out there. We launched this thing. We launched the game. I can bring up the screen capture. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, this is like when you are just like chilling in your house looking at things. This is what I am seeing. Okay, as a nerd, I am seeing
You're
this.
seeing the art.
Look at what happened here.
Oh, on Twitch we're frozen.
And we're frozen here. This is bad. Okay, I'm quitting Chrome. I'm quitting Chrome. Goodbye, Chrome. Okay, Chrome's gone. Everything's messed up. Okay, don't do anything. Just relax. I'm bringing Chrome back. I'm gonna do another screen share.
Huge.
It's gonna be fine. It's really going to be fine. Okay. This is a total disaster. It's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is super good. Okay, that actually worked pretty good. So now I can go to babylon.game. Okay, and we are back, baby. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now we're perfect. Now we can see Babylon.game on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, I had to
That's
just
epic.
kill Chrome. You always got to just kill Chrome one last time. So I just want to show everyone this is what I am dealing with. Web page stuff behind the scenes. And this is a metaphor. We built this site. We built this site pretty quickly in the grand scheme, but it actually took forever because we built another bunch of other things that didn't work. But this is the code, and the site itself is not, is much different. It actually harkens from a land of less technology. It's sort of a throwback to adventure games from our youth. I don't know if it's Dove's youth. Exactly. But yeah, the theme is basically, what's the theme? So if I were just to break this down, I would just say that like, it really was Dove's idea. If I'm gonna be honest, I think Dove came up with the idea. Let's just be honest. What was your inspiration?
I don't know that that's even true. First of all, I don't know if it's true that this is all my idea.
No, you didn't come up with the idea in that way, but I think basically the history of the idea was that we were kicking around a bunch of notions that related to the concept of every possible punk that could exist. So if we go into the beta, we'll go ahead and join the beta here. Don't worry, it's fun. And we can go here, okay, the outside of the library, we go into the library, okay, and then we can browse books in the stacks. Okay, these are the stacks, and then we can hit browse books, and then we hit full screen. Okay, and so what you see here is an interface that shows you, and like we're gonna step out of the lore of the game for a second and just talk to you like we're just hanging out at the bar or whatever. We're not like the game masters anymore. These are CryptoPunks. These are possible CryptoPunks, i.e., punks that could exist according to the rules of creating them, but they don't exist, except the ones that are grayed out, like this one. And so this was an idea that was being kicked around a lot. and I was obsessed with this. Piv was really pushing this notion of viewing them in themes. So instead of being confronted with the infinity of punks, you could sort of say, okay, like let's embrace the constraint of a theme. And we were pushing on this, and I feel like if you looked in the Twitter or in the Discord, I was really saying like, so are we doing this project? And then I feel like you, Dove, were like, no, we have to make it. I mean, I don't know. I pretend that you did do this or whatever. I don't know if you actually did this, but like to kind of as a jumping off point, you were one of the forces that was pushing it out of just being some random CryptoPunk mint into being into an immersive game.
Right. Well, I didn't want to create yet another mint that was like a 30 million token thing like Punk Pixels. Um, because while it's cool to do that, it just it's like it ends. And I know people already kind of have this thing with Capsule 21 where like I've heard a lot of feedback that's like I really love everything that you guys do, but the supply is really high. And I mint them because I like the art, but it's like how many projects are you going to do? Am I going to get any like return of value on these?
But let me
And
just real quick
so
pull up the granddaddy of them all. This is really what you're talking about. Can I even scroll right now? Is this a disaster?
yeah, so
OpenSea.
OC Punk on-chain Punk Pixels. There's 2 million possible NFTs. And you can see that the volume total is 0.03 ETH.
And there are only 5,000 minted, which is actually quite a coup if you think about it. But yes,
Right. Yeah, it is pretty good.
there is one pixel for every punk. This
Yeah.
was Pivs in my first project, basically, and really the first project of Capsule 21, although it wasn't called that then. And I really think it's just a hilarious concept because punks are so expensive, so why not do a cheaper one? But it's
A
like
single pixel of one. Yeah.
exactly. And so this basically, a lot of people say, "Oh my god, I own that Yunk." See, this is why punks are fun. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's the biggest collection aside from ENS," and I just have to say, read your history books. CryptoKitties also has millions of tokens, but this is pretty much one of the biggest ones out there and a great thing. But do we need to do it again? Is kind of what you were saying, Doug. Do we need to do 50
Yeah.
bajillion tokens?
The question was, can we come up with an interesting way to have 30 million possible tokens, but somehow limit the supply, or somehow make the supply low enough that you would still like want to collect them, and like hopefully they hold some value and things like that. Like, can we come up with a burn mechanism? Can we come up with just like something more to it? Like, can we juice this idea with a little bit extra oomph?
Now, I was thinking kind of the opposite, though. I was thinking, let's do every possible punk, 30 million tokens. And then I think Piv actually made this joke. He said, what about every pixel on every possible punk? So 1,000 trillion tokens, which I thought was brilliant. And that actually might be a collection we should do realistically, because that actually would be CryptoKitties.
Bigger than CryptoKitties.
Bigger than CryptoKitties. This is our... But it's sort of an interesting question, though, right? If you're trying to, enumerate, right, like write down in order everything, like how do you actually do that? And with Punk Pixels, it's not so simple exactly how to do it, where you have to take every pixel and write it down in order. So you go through all the pixels exactly once. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, yeah, so we came up with this idea to basically kind of gamify it in some way and reduce the supply. Originally, it was just going to be all 30 million, but they were on a 24-hour cycle. So every 24 hours you would bid on one, and then we were just like, we'll just do a nouns clone, but with every possible CryptoPunk instead of these nouns.
Where is that screenshot actually?
Oh, it's in our Discord group chat somewhere.
Find that. I'm gonna pull that
Nadiak
up.
says, I see lots of aliens, apes, and zombies. I never considered the idea that with all possible combos, there would be substantially more. Do we know percentages? Percentages are mostly even across the board. When you have every single possible combination, it's like there are almost just as many aliens as there are apes, and there's almost as many apes as there are zombies, and so on and so
No,
forth.
come on. Are you kidding me? This was also jumping off of my famous tweets about the possible apes. The zombies and humans, there are so many, there are zillions of them. But for the apes and the aliens, depending on how you count exactly the rules, and the rules have changed a little bit for us, there's like 4,000. So it actually is kind of crazy with the rules because of the hair thing. Aliens aren't able to have hair, and so that limits things so dramatically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's a lot of like little rules like that that are like, there's certain trait combinations that are hard coded into like the original 2017 punks that's like you can't have this trait and this trait together. So we tried to stay true to all of those different things in order to get the 30 million.
So
If we
this
didn't have
mock-up,
those limits, there would be like way more than 30 million.
and if you didn't have the limits of anything, right? You could just have any order of anything, like you just would take any number of any traits. Now that is the most, where you could have like 6 hairs, four.
Oh, right. Yeah, of
You know,
course. Then it's
that
like
would be the
infinite.
true dream. Every
Then it's
pixel of that.
it's just infinite. Now we're just playing with imaginary numbers.
Say limited at 100 traits. So you have 100 slots, and for each slot you pick any trait with equal probability with replacement. Anyway, this is kind of an early iteration. I really am apologizing because I forget who made this for me. I was talking on Twitter. I could look this up. I will. I'll put it in the show notes. Do we have show notes? Someone basically suggested this to me in a conversation, actually made this mock-up. So I didn't make this. None of us made this, but this was a huge inspiration. It's actually called Forever Punks, which is amazing because, of course, we love Forever Punks, and he was our guest. But this was a very early impetus for how to do it. And I'm pretty sure it was made, if I'm going to do some sleuthing, I'm pretty sure it was made during the cyberpunk era because you can't really see it, but I'm in this mock-up here, and my PFP is the cyberpunk
Oh yeah.
PFP.
3D glasses, yeah.
And Ryder's in there. So this is probably close to the era of what. And so an IAPE is at the top with his 3. Anyways, who knows? We have to do archaeology, but this was a very interesting idea. And it was actually per hour in this person's thing. 1 punk every hour forever. So if you're seeing this and you did this, let me know because I want to give you credit for this. I didn't do this. This was the first idea. Nouns clone.
It's a good idea.
Now the issue. Sorry, go ahead.
No, maybe we should also say why the name is Babylon.
Oh, excellent. This was Dove's idea.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll say it from my perspective just real quick. Dove came and said, what about the Library of Babylon? A Library of Babel. And I said, oh, Dove, you're thinking of the Tower of Babel. I was like being so condescending, like I know everything or whatever. And then Dove was like, no, you're the idiot. Anyway, go ahead, Dove.
There is a fictitious story called The Library of Babel, written by, what's this guy's name? Something Borges.
Yeah, Borges.
George Louis Borges. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. It's Spanish. Anyway, in this fiction story, there's this magical library which houses every single book that could ever possibly be written. So it has every single combination of words that you could conceivably put in a 500-page book. And so it's infinitely large. And so the idea is that, you have these people going into this Library of Babel in the story, and they're trying to find, the meaning of life. Because if every possible sentence is written in here, then somewhere in the library is like the meaning of life. Somewhere,
but it's not infinite. That's the beauty of this. It's the beauty of the experiment is that you can define it. You can say, hey, what is it's 410-page books. They define it, and there's just a finite number of 410-page books. Now, this is related, and that's what we have. We have the punks. This is related to a very famous paradox. The question is, are there a fixed number of ideas expressed in the Library of Babel? Right? This is actually a very interesting philosophical question. So there's obviously a finite number of books, but is there a finite number of ideas?
Right. Well, yeah.
So here's my answer.
The whole thing. Okay, go ahead.
So what about the concept of the simplest idea that can't be expressed in 410 pages? And if you wrote that in a 410-page book, would it somehow... Anyway, this is a meme. Whatever. Go on.
There's volumes in the library.
What can be said about this is that it will be almost impossible to find something readable in this library because everything is there.
Right.
So you have to find the good things in all kind of nonsense. So I think that's also a nice parallel with our thing, I think. You have every possible combination, so a lot of them just don't make sense.
Right.
Because it's if I'm right, it's it's 25 characters that are combined in every possible way.
Right. So there's a lot of nonsense books in there. There's a website which is linked on that Wikipedia. It's libraryofbabel.info, and this is an art project that someone made where you can literally go and browse through all the walls and all the shelves, and then you can click on individual books, and then you can read the book.
Oh,
And
great.
almost all of them are total gibberish.
Yeah.
But there's a search function, and you can type anything you want in the search function. You can say, like, I'm going to type in Dove is a millionaire, okay, in the search function. And then I search it, and then it's like, wow, did you know in the book titled DMVTBCEA.NIY, comma, on page 318, there it's written in the book, Dove is a millionaire. So you can find it in there somewhere.
This is actually great. I can't believe I haven't seen this, but this is
and that's the idea. And so I've always really liked Library of Babel. I've known about it for a long time. And we were talking about this idea of, like, infinite punks, or not, not infinite, obviously, but every possible combination. It immediately made me think of this. And so I wanted to play on that idea a little bit with the theme and the lore and things like that. So that's, I think, it's like 1 in every 100 people that'll see Library of Babylon and be like, oh, this is a reference to the Borges book. But if you do see it, maybe you'll think it's...
there is another element. This is sort of disconcerting. What about hexagon?
Yes.
Yeah. So the other fun part, which makes this puzzle piece kind of fit very nicely together, is that canonically in the Borges story, the towers of the library are organized in hexagons. So you would walk into a room and there's a hexagon of bookshelves. And this kind of slotted in perfectly with our obsession with doing on-chain art, which on Twitter nowadays goes into a hexagon PFP, which is kind of just a crazy coincidence, and I thought made all of these ideas, nest on top of each other very well in a kind of like Russian nesting doll type of way.
Here's
So
a hex,
kind of
and
the idea.
The original concept was that the punks, the books as we call them now, the punks would be on chain, obviously, because that's our whole meme, and yet they would also be hexable, i.e., you could use them as NFT PFP, unlike what you can do with most on-chain things, including everything that we've ever done. And there's a very nice man named CX Coda who taught me how to do this when I was sort of sneakily pumping him for information as I was pretending to interview him for our podcast. No, I'm kidding. I was doing both. And he did it with Moonbirds, and you could do Moonbirds on chain and in the hex. It's a whole thing, and then it doesn't work anymore. So, there's this very famous thing called the Maginot Line, which is a thing France tried to do to protect itself against Germany in World War II, but it didn't work. And what some people say about it is it's because they were fighting last century's war. Like, you can't, you got to skate to where the puck is going, and that's kind of where I blew it a little bit on this, but we'll figure out how to do it. I mean, it still, shows up at least in the selection screen of PFPs, even though it doesn't work. It's a little inside baseball. It was a lot of work. It didn't matter, but there's a nice, it's the hex. What's going on Twitch right now? Are we getting, oops, that's not what I want to do.
No, we answered the most recent question. I'm talking to some people on Discord who are playing it now. And the main complaint that people are giving is about gas. Gas is at like 65 right now.
So why is there such a high gas? How do we fix this? I mean, gaming is notoriously difficult to get right versus art. which is also very difficult, but at least you kind of takes a form that there's not very much interactive art. This is interactive art, but with gaming, it's like you have to, really tantalize people. So what can you do in the game? Well, you can search for punks.
Okay. I didn't realize you were asking. I thought it was rhetorical. Sorry.
Okay, you can search for punks. This punk kind of looks similar to the Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
.eth silhouette, at least.
Yeah.
Right. So
horned rim glasses.
So this is a book, and so this is already very cute. It's book number, some really big number. Now, it's not exactly the case that there are this many books or whatever. It's like just the numbering system is a little bit. I'll explain later.
Oh, someone found the first ever book name tag.
Well, good luck with that. I'm going to implement that, but this is part of the. That's cool. This is part of the beta. You can name it like the. So okay, so you see the book, and so what do you see here? Well, you see it's not part of the current exhibition. So how are you going to get to this book? And then what it tells you is you have a feeling you could unlock it with a special sort of key, but you're not sure how to get one. The haughty words of the condescending placard still echoing in your head, you resolve to find a special key.
Wait, by the way, because this book isn't.
So this is how you beta test. So
yeah.
You start a podcast, you do 23 episodes, and then you discover the beta testing. That is amazing. I'll fix this right now.
Live coding.
Which one should I get rid of? Doesn't or isn't?
You should get rid of doesn't, I think.
Okay, I'll get rid of doesn't.
This book doesn't part of the current exhibition.
Isn't part. Okay. All right, now that's called customer service right there. We're going to go ahead and replace that. We're going to refresh that in a little bit, and it's going to work. I wrote the text for most of this stuff. Try to keep it. So anyway, you see it. You want this because it's a cool-looking zombie. You can't get it. You find a special key. Okay, this would probably take you to the front. You go back. Okay, where do you go? You go to the auction house. You check the auction. And you see, oh my goodness, people are bidding on this. This is going to be very expensive. So you can buy a key here, right? I don't know why people are bidding more than the open edition cost, but I guess they want to feel something. You can also buy a key here. Good luck at this volume. I'm going to buy some of these at the end to really make sure I have it. But then what you can do is you can go into the library and then you can go to the foreboding door. I probably should have said go to the dungeon, like foreboding door. Like I'm trying to be too cute, but you can go here. And this is where most of the treasure is in the game. And all this art was drawn by Dove and Piv, except for this is a little sneak peek. This is the admin UI. Someone already discovered this. This was drawn by me through Midjourney. So Midjourney, pretty good. But anyway, they're better. And so, Piv, what was your, this is one of the most pivotal screens in the game. What was your kind of inspiration here?
Inspiration.
Like, how did you even begin?
We needed a door.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you've now explained.
Second version. The first door was too much of an outside-looking door, so this was more of an interior door. And
and it has a punk head on top of it. That seems like a pretty central design element.
Indeed.
And what I love about the punk head is it's just kind of, to me, like instantly transplanting in terms of like, it's like an eerie punk head, like it still looks kind of like funny, but it's also kind of like a little bit foreboding.
The empty eyes are scary. There's nothing there.
Yeah, the empty eyes.
Hollow.
Also, I think this actually occupies a good in your oeuvre, Piv. I'm not going to pull it up, but you famously have the skull, right? And the scream. Uh,
The skull and the screen. Oh, the screen. Yeah.
You have the skull, you have X-ray.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't say it's like even super duper related, but I think it's part of it, like stone, like stone side of building punk. Anyway.
Gargoyle
So
punk.
essentially, here is the flavor text. The door is just as foreboding as it looked from across the lobby. I mean, should say from upstairs, if not more so. It does intrigue you, however, but it's locked. And even if you had a key, it's probably not a good idea to go wandering through a library dungeon without a weapon, or at least a map. And the button says, find a key and or never come back. Because it's trying to say oh my God, I'm so scared or whatever. Any typos here, Dove?
No, I think you're good. By the way, did we remove the one and nothing from the trading thing? I don't think we did, because I'm seeing some people say that they put 5 in and got 1 back.
Yeah, we didn't. We could remove the
Okay.
the nothing from that. I could do that now, but that's a little bit more involved. And I want to be careful not to mess that up. But yes, we can remove the 1 and nothing and make it. So that means the minimum is, what about the collabs?
Yeah, maybe good to remove the 1 there as well.
There is something called intermittent rewards, though. I feel like it's more fun to sometimes come
Oh,
up,
wow.
but during the beta.
I think we're back on the MetaMask phishing.
No way.
Yeah, someone just sent me a screenshot.
No way. Oh my God. Let's see. I don't see it on the repo. This repo is like the main thing.
Interesting. That's classic.
So is it in trouble?
JPEG Poppy just sent me a screenshot of it. Just now.
JPEG Poppy. And so, well, it's not in the thing. It's literally not in the thing. I mean, this whole project is kind of absurd. I mean, I respect the people doing this because it's so hard. It's almost impossible. How do you keep track of all the right stuff and whatever? It's a very centralized solution and everything. But I do respect them because someone's got to do something. But it is just stressful to be caught up in the rush. I mean, it is very weird because at least when it's centralized, right, and not to be like Mr. Blockchain guy, but when Apple kicks you off of their store, you can at least email them, basically.
Right.
But with this,
but the MetaMask has no contact.
It's all open source things, so you have to go and convince people. And we were able to do so, and I really appreciate them kind of looking at what I wrote, and I mean, able to get off the list from very nice people who don't work at MetaMask. You know what I mean? So it's they have to do it or whatever. So it's actually a kind of a wild situation. But at least with that one, we knew we were on the list. I could see. Let's search Babylon.game on all of GitHub. Okay, let me pull it up here. So this is how you find out if you are banned from the blockchain. Whoa.
Yeah, other people have made things called Babylon game before.
Shocked.
Yeah, I don't think we
Okay.
are. No one else has said anything either, and a lot of new people have visited the site, so I don't know if it's just his or what the deal is. Basically, when you don't use Manifold and you don't use Zora and like kind of established systems to do these things, you're like viewed with a lot more scrutiny. So you kind of get into these little bubbles, and those companies obviously have like contacts to talk to and very quickly get things resolved.
I guess we don't have any contact us on the site.
No, but I'm saying they don't either. Like MetaMask and Phantom Wallet don't have a way to like get in contact with them. But I'm sure, Manifold has a way to contact MetaMask like immediately. You know what I'm saying? I'm like they know
Yes,
someone
VC
who works
memes.
there.
This was nice about being a VC funded company. Yeah, you could usually get like some kind of connection to at least have a conversation. But we should put contact on the site. Like we should have a footer and everything. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we can
it
do
says
that.
like, here's our Twitter and, here's who we are. And hey, we're cool people. Here's our podcast. I just want to say, listen, before you ban me, you have to watch every episode of my podcast. And that's kind of like a delay tactic, Because how
We're
can you
real
know?
people. I promise you.
Yeah, how can you really know? Let's see if I can go to Babylon.game. I have a new MetaMask. I'm going to disconnect my MetaMask. Okay, I'm going to kill it, disconnect it. It's disconnected from everything. I'm going to reload. And can I get wallet? And it's pretty good. I don't know. It pops up. I mean, what about Goblin Town? They were totally anonymous.
Right. Yeah.
Well, anyway, we don't actually know what's going on, so maybe it's fine. I
It's
hope.
fine. No panicking here. It's all good.
So yeah, I can just show people if they want how you get off of the list. So so we got on the blacklist, and then I did what's called a pull request, which is like the way you suggest a change to someone's code. I went to the GitHub, I suggested this pull request. Here's the change that I wanted. Remove Babylon.game. I said remove this, and then they
It's funny that we're lumped in with all those like very obvious scams, like Lucky Drop NFT dot,
yeah.
crap.
This was our first name for the site actually, but it was taken, and I'm glad we didn't do it.
AnimusRFTKT.net. That's us.
Yeah, no, this is I think you make a very good point. Like
Come on, we
this
spent
is
money
life.
on that URL. I mean, come on.
Yeah, anyone can afford a .game. Can't be that bad. Who else we have in here? None of
I know
these look at all legit.
Should we go through the mints quickly?
Ah, of course. Yes. Yeah, so you mean like the books?
Yes, the books. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good thing. We can go on the OpenSea website. It's probably better to browse on our site if we had a way to do that. But here is the.
I think we have.
Oh wow, this is
80%.
great.
Yeah, it's great, but
We have a
a
ton.
lot of apes and zombies.
Yeah, because those are the rare ones. But guess what?
Mhm.
Nothing's rare now.
They're not rare. Those apes look pretty common to me.
No, the apes are rarer. The zombies are not. This is the one I was considering getting here. If we just take a look right
just
here,
a 2-trait ape.
the quote unquote cleanest one.
See, BenBit is a good. He has a really good sense of value. Like he knows the things that are valuable.
But what does he know about this? This is the one I did get.
Oh, so you have the lesser version. Not as cool as his. I think
Yeah,
the one
I
that
mean,
I minted is the coolest one. With the clown nose or the medical mask. Okay, my opinion.
Yeah, the clown nose medical
that's
mask is good. Wait, whoa. Piv, which one did you mint?
I didn't mint one yet.
Oh,
I'm shocked. Why not?
You haven't even tried our thing?
No.
In the last week, we kept saying we got to test it. Rigorous
No,
testing.
in the last week I did, but no, since this, no, I didn't mint.
Okay.
Not since it's live. So one fun thing to see here, which is actually kind of wild, is the like all this like just took me just trust me, it was a huge pain to do. Like it's not like some easy thing, but when you use the Punk book as a map guide to go into the library, you put some wear and tear on it, and that causes its pages to get faded, which is what's happening here. You can see that this one is more faded. Let's just go crazy. Let's go ham. There we go. This one and this one's more faded than this one because it's lost some help. And so all of this just happens automatically. The fading is generated by the blockchain, and the OpenSea picks it up automatically. So you really get this good thing. And then when you buy it from someone, you know, it's already faded. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
You can see exactly how many users have gone into the door and how many of them have not.
Well, but what if they healed?
They didn't, because I don't think you can right now.
Correct. Excuse me. Geez, I will say that this one is mine. This one was the Punk that I was using. Hold on, I think I'm the wrong. Or maybe that was bad. Okay, this one is the Punk I wanted to make my PFP on Twitter. Like I wanted one that kind of looked like me, A smile. I didn't want to do the zombie. And then Elf minted this one, which looks exactly the same as mine, but just with no gold chain. So there's no way to have an identity with this. It's kind of a shocking thing if you think about it.
No, it's good. It's good. You got sniped. But yours is better. It has the gold chain, so you'll always have that one up.
Mine is better. That is true. Now I think my levels might have just gotten messed up when I did. Somebody say something, Dove?
No, I just said you'll always have the one up because you have the gold chain. So yours is always better, even if they look very similar.
Yeah, maybe my levels are fine. Yes, the gold chain is good. So Piv, I kind of want you to mint one live, or
Well, if I would have minted one, it would probably look a bit like the one. Yeah, if you have to say the number, it's. But the one, just the plain one with just the mask and the head. There's one like that.
So you like the clean one too?
Yes.
That's funny. I like the maximalist. The craziest looking thing I can make is always my favorite.
So you take one of these.
Yes, I think the second or the third one is the second one is minted, I think.
Oh yeah, shouldn't.
Oh wow. Yep, that's a bug. Yep, that's a classic bug. That's a classic bug.
We love a bug.
Yeah, mine's also minted, but this one isn't. And I guess they're in different order each time. So that's what you would do. And Dove, you're saying you're a fan of these. Although, where's the medical mask in this? This might be a.
It's a mouth accessory.
But if I'm showing all the 9 traits, it should.
No, because medical mask has some interaction issue, I believe.
Oh, because of hidden traits or something like that.
Yeah.
But you still should be able to do it. Let's try this.
But if you take out the 9 trait and set it to 8, you'll see some.
How do you know this? Are you a programmer?
Well, because I like this combo, so I've played around with the site enough to know.
But is this a bug though? Like, why can't you do 9 trait with medical mask? Oh, now we got nothing. Or no, we have medical mask. We kill medical mask. So why can't you do 9?
I think it's because I don't know. It's something that you can't have with it. I forget what it is.
No, but like this one, for example, You could swap the cigarette for because then buck teeth is hidden.
Right. Smile would be hidden. Frown would be hidden.
Wow, this system is amazing. I thought of everything. I can't remember all these things. So yeah. So you liked. I mean, there's also the 3 trait. I mean, even just for browsing the regular CryptoPunks, this would be good, as Piv has pointed out.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think that we should have a little ticker, like a box you can hit that shows you the original 10K only.
You can go through it. Yeah, this took me forever to build.
It's cool to see all the beards.
Now this is wrong. This is a bug. Yeah, this is an issue. I gotta fix it because like it doesn't scroll. But yeah, you can just scroll these things forever, and this is all deduped. There's like a lot of options. And we can throw on the gold chain. People love that. And on face, we throw the rosy cheeks, and then instead of luxurious beard, maybe we want to do the iconic mutton chops.
I like mutton chops are slept on. No one really likes the mutton chops, but I think that they're good.
Earring. Let's do a vape. Vaping is actually worse than smoking, kids.
Vaping. I will refrain from making a medical advice.
I actually cannot say if it's actually worse. I just like kind of saying things like that.
Pros and cons. As a former user of both.
Damn.
Okay,
so you could be. Sorry, Piv?
I stole a book.
He's done it.
Folks. Wow, well, we were just talking about it. Piv actually did it. Let's see. Let's go to activity. These are the sales. Dove and me wash trading to generate volume and interest. No, that's not what we were doing.
With our 0.01 ETH.
We were doing something else. This is also a pretty good effect here.
Oh, it's amazing. The book is beautiful. That's a Piv original.
Yeah, that was early on.
I think really we got to mint all of the Babylon art as one of ones and put it into the vault.
Good idea.
Pretty cool. Pretty good idea here. I got a couple ideas. I think really this game is fucking sick. The worst part of this game is that it is so expensive because of gas. If gas weren't an issue, this game would be 10 out of 10 perfect. So I think we should move. We're announcing live that we're moving to Polygon. Polygon has
we were paid $3 million by them.
$3 million. Polygon Labs paid us $3 million. We're bridging to Polygon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a tough one. Well, what about removing the extra step, Dove?
To save like $4. No, the biggest issue with gas, right, is that you don't know how much gas it's going to cost to do anything. Yeah. So you put in 5 in the chest and you pay for that transaction. And then if you don't have very much ETH in your wallet, then it says like, okay, congrats, you won this. Now press accept to win those prizes. And then it's like, oh, I don't have enough gas to accept the prizes. But I can't get back what I spent on the last step either. I think that's the trap that some people are being soured on. Is people who don't have a lot of ETH in their wallet and they don't know what they're in for.
Yeah, I mean, and the worst part is that you can't really predict the gas of winning because it depends on what you win. So if you win 10 NFTs, that's going to be the most expensive one.
Right.
And so that's quite unfortunate. But yeah, we could probably simplify that. This is broken, by the way. Not sure what this means. Have we been reported for spam? Is the blockchain broken?
Nope. I doubt it. That would be
all right,
strange.
Let's go to Etherscan. Okay, let's go here. So this is a transaction, right? Piv had to burn a key and mint this thing. Okay. And Then we go to Babylon Book. Let's just check this out. Go to the contract. Okay, Piv. Here's Piv's mint. Let's go to the contract here. This is Diamond, so it's a whole thing, but Etherscan does give you some access. Read as proxy. Token URI. Boom, boom. Let's see if it works. Okay, that's pretty good. That's the URI. So if anyone knows anything about Etherscan, you know that if this comes out of Etherscan, like someone's doing something right. Like, look at this.
Is this good?
It means it's on chain. Okay.
It's like spaghetti code.
Yeah, well, it's all repetitive characters. So, like, if you can zoom in on this,
right,
you can see that the characters all repeat.
You know, this is kind of an internal Library of Babel reference.
Yes.
This is how you really see it. Yeah, Etherscan is kind of like that. But it's like A. The reason is that this is a BMP file, and bitmaps are the most naive way of encoding an image. It's just one pixel after another. And so when you make a pixel art 24 by 24 thing bigger, there's a lot of repeated pixels right next to each other. And so that's what you're seeing here. Like, this is probably his nose or whatever. I don't know.
So let's talk about what's next after this. We have more stuff to put in the vaults, right? I want to put some of my own art in there. I think that would be cool, and to win as a 1 of 1. Right now there's just some Fang Gang stuff in there. Shout out to Junshi and Paka. I salute you for agreeing to have your stuff in there. And I think that'll be cool. Look at some higher value things in the vault. I think I think people will be happier to spend gas if they know that there's good stuff sitting in there.
So here are the vaults. Oh, wow. A lot of these have been won, actually.
Yeah, people are playing the game.
That's amazing. Now, if you're out there and thinking, what goes in the Grail vaults? You're just going to have to find out.
Well, when do they find out? Let's because I think we should do it before the mint is over.
Yeah, we got to film like a thing. And then also a little pop quiz. This is the only area of the site that doesn't exist within the game UI. And I used the normal font.
Yep.
I just couldn't actually put this in the game UI. It's just too far. But yeah, we got some good stuff in here. I mean, let's look at the capsule vault. Like, for all the people complaining, like, I don't think they should be complaining.
These defaults haven't been put in by us, I think.
No, I think other people have put them in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only put in 2 defaults.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I just put in 2.
Yeah.
So is there anything bad in here?
Well, some of the stuff has low to no volume. Clickbaits and Vertigo have low to no volume. Cyberfunks is also low to no volume. You know, I think right now what's good is like the default punks and the still lifes. That's the stuff that has like current price action.
But that's just about the price stuff.
All of it has immense value personally, artistically, in every other sense.
I put in this one, by the way, which really took me a lot of pain to do because I really think this is a very cool looking cyberpunk.
Cool. I put in the Jesus looking one with the luxurious beard and the wild hair.
This one?
Yep. That one was hard to part with. I actually really like that one.
Let's take a closer look.
That is pretty sick, I gotta say. That's
Bonner!
Yep, sold
Bonner in the game. Bonner on the pod.
I bought my own thing back, and now I put it in the vault for someone else.
All right, let's take a look at this transaction. $80? Are you kidding?
Gotta pay the cost.
This game is what?
It shouldn't be surprising. I put in like 20 NFTs into the freaking thing. It's expensive.
Yeah, I guess if you're doing 20 NFTs and it's $4 each, you're gonna end up with 80.
Yeah. The way she goes.
So yeah, I mean that's part of the fucking game, and it's also not such a bad gas either. So it's not gonna get that much cheaper to load these things up. So it's just such a challenge to have the gas cost be lower than the heady stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go check out our friend on OpenSea. A boom.
Yes.
He's got a lot in
Imagine
the hidden. He has a
you
lot of
stumble
hidden-
across this account and you think, wait a minute, must be an amazing collector genius to have this amazing collection. Who is this? And you say, whoa, it's the Babylon game contract?
Right. Because one day there'll be like 20 CryptoPunks in there.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
CryptoPunks. There's gonna be Bored Apes in there. There's gonna be Azuki in there, Grant Yoon. There's gonna be checks in there. There's gonna be balances in there. You know, no one's made a checks and balances joke yet. I noticed.
Oh yeah, there could be like a good.
If I were making an open edition, I would call it balances.
And now they are. It's also checks and balances, the Constitution, that whole meme.
Right.
And they are actually. I read in the newspaper today. They're auctioning off a new meme that's like the old Bible thing, and it's supposed to be even more expensive than the record paid for the Constitution. So I feel like a new DAO could get together and buy this fucking million-year-old Bible.
Can we watch Twitch on Twitch? Grant Pooh Bear is a speedrunner who I really enjoy. He's the highest on your on the left side. He's the top one.
Oh God,
I really enjoy his streams. He's good. Mitch Flower Power too, excellent JRPG speedrunner.
No, Mitch Flower Power is iconically Mario 3.
Yes, he is. So is Grand Pooh Bear. Grand Pooh Bear is in the same Mario speedrunner. Pro Jared, a very bad person. So don't click his. He genuinely is a bad human being. Don't give him any clout. This is not good.
No clout. Let's go to Oats and Goats.
I don't know Oats and Goats.
This guy is a huge meme. This is Super Metroid.
Speedrunning fans in chat right now. I love speedrunning.
Yeah, I'm very into it. I want to record one actually of the new Final Fantasy that I just played. Let's check out Lack Attack. He's a Zelda guy. Let's see what he's playing now. Different style of retro. But let's go back to the Capsule 21 thing. Come on, let's be honest here for a second.
I just thought maybe it'd be fun to watch some Twitch on Twitch.
No, I agree. That's probably what we should be doing, but we have to look at this first. I'm gonna say, yo, Joel. How are our levels?
Getting very meta.
But what did people say here? Chopper says, dope. Thank you, Chopper. Crypto Ferd, dope. Good to see your faces, dope. Do we know percentages? Dope. How many people watching? 7. So what do we got? I mean, what else? We've launched it. Like, are people looking at it? Like, I haven't been looking at my Twitter at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I closed my Twitter desktop app because it was using too many CPU cycles.
It's good. We're about to hit 800 followers on Twitter. Pretty good.
Yeah.
What else? I'm checking the Twitter chat.
642 minted.
No more.
You're saying no more.
No, I mean there are more keys.
I know. You're like, it's too many. Is our stream frozen right now? Did I do something to break the rules? My goodness.
Oh, is there more minted than I said?
Yes, I think so.
What is going on with stream?
Minted.
Yeah.
711. That's a good number. My favorite place to go for Slurpees.
I think it's the only place. So how do we proceed? What's next?
Should we say something that it's probably going to be a lot harder to get keys in the future?
I put it in a tweet.
Yeah,
I put in one of the more recent tweets where I announced the pod. I said 24 hours remaining to mint keys. After the OE mint ends, only... Oh, shoot. I made a typo. It says only key will be auctioned for sale per day. It should say only one key will be
singular.
auctioned.
They should get the point. We're busy.
Yeah, it's been a stressful day. Okay, cut us some slack, guys.
So did we do everything we dreamed of?
No.
What is left? What should we? I mean, we launched the game.
Upgrades, name tags, health items.
Like you can literally. There's even the helpful sign.
There is a helpful sign. It's very nice.
This to me is the favorite thing I did, where the helpful sign says, "Books are not part of the current exhibition, are locked in the archives. You need a more secure, which are much more secure. And if you were trying to get whatever book you wanted, you need a special key. But why am I telling you this? You're just here to browse, right?" And then the flavor text says, "What a helpful sign. You feel much more knowledgeable having read it. You didn't expect to learn so much about the library's security procedures, but you chuckle softly to yourself and say, 'But I'm glad I did.'"
It's good. Oh, the key
Is
fragments.
this a little Simpsons influence?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
A key fragment combination also very vital.
The fragment meme.
Yep.
Yeah, so just basically it is time to do everything you can with items.
Yeah, we have to implement item usage, which is not valid at the moment.
Walk away from the sign. We can go back. We can go to the auction house, check out the auction. Should be able to click this person's name. This is another joke that I had made. Is that you sit down among the crowd of eager bidders just as the auctioneer begins to speak. You find him charismatic and are flattered. He seems to have taken a personal interest in you and your ideas. You know, it's kind of like painting you as kind of like a, you know, simpleton who just thinks that everyone, you know, no one plays the game or whatever. So that's fun. There's the famous back room. This is a Godfather inspired scene.
I can't believe how people are very drawn to this.
Yes, indeed. They
More
are
people
drawn
have
to the
tried
back room.
this than tried the foreboding door. Even though I've said explicitly in like most of the tweets, explore the library. People really like the guy in the back room. They constantly they're doing that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like it's the starter point. I think Elf said that. Who said it? It feels like it's like the starter way, like the before you go to the big league, you go to the back room thing and get the starter way, you know.
Yeah.
But if we get some nice art in there, it will be an interesting thing. Maybe now
sure.
it's a bit, but that's one of the goals, to put some interesting stuff in there.
But the best stuff should be in the dungeon. Here,
Yeah.
your place. There is some fashionette stuff here. Talk to the guy. And this is also a joke. This chest is not the correct art, I don't think. But if you put 5, I'll give you the chance to win something special. You're always talking about putting this to use. Well, here's your chance. This is kind of like a reference to Hydrate in a way. The backroom guy leans in and describes a game of chance. As he talks, your eyes begin to light up. Usually your eyes light up. Finally, you think, a use for all these Capsule 21 NFTs. Come on.
Yeah, we have to put in here the loot table of what's possible to win. Because I see some people think that all it is getting more Capsule 21 NFTs back. I think people don't realize that you can get keys and key fragments out of this as well. So
yeah, so we can put the loot table in
to make that more apparent.
Oh god, the loot table. Yeah, it should update from the contract too. I mean, that's a crazy thing. If you're from the
without percentages, it's just good to say what is possible to receive.
Yeah, true. No, it's really quite shocking from a Web 2 standpoint that you could make a game like this without having a web server. Like there's no web server involved in this. That's pretty cool, no?
It's expensive, but yeah, it's cool.
Right, I guess, yeah. The downside of a web server is it costs you $50 a month, and the downside of this is it costs everyone $1,000 every second. So, yeah, that's the rub there, basically. And this is costing me $50, or we're gonna, just the alchemy here. Should I show everyone alchemy?
Sure.
Oh, you think you know everything, person listening to this? What's going on there? Did we get locked up again? Can you see this?
good. 99.
Yeah, it's there.
So I don't know what's going on here, but one thing I do know is 841 compute units per second. That seems pretty high.
Yeah, I don't know. It's normal.
Yeah, it's hard to really say. Well, I think I'm allowed to do, let's check here. Usage page. Is there anything bad on here? So I am allowed to do 400 million in this month.
A lot of compute units being used up.
Yeah, this is a disaster, actually. Oh my goodness. What is this? $330 million in a day? That's not even over yet? So if we're allowed 300 million left and we've done 30 million today and there's more than 10 days left and people are going to go nuts for this game. So I guess I have to optimize this? This is an annoying thing. I'm using a library that's like called WAGMI. It's really easy to use, but it is a little bit messed up. Like, for example, you could see all these ETH block number calls. Like, this is like calls to find the latest block number. Mm-hmm. And so what I think WAGMI does in certain places is it says, okay, we're going to update you every time there's a block. So it queries for new block numbers. And then when the block number changes, it does another query that says, refresh my data. When in reality, you could just say, refresh your data every 12 seconds, which is what I'm going to do. But yeah, this is just absolutely ludicrous. It's because the compute units plus we download the person's avatar. Anyway, whatever. The tech is annoying. You can't worry about this kind of thing too much. You just got to do cool stuff. All right, so we were trying to keep it a short one. We have no guests, so really this,
This is good. If you're here, if you're listening, just stay tuned. Lots of cool thing about Babylon is that it can be updated. So there's lots of things that will probably change in the coming week or so, and new things added in the prize pool, and it'll be good. So it's exciting.
Babylon.
Look up the song Babylon by Oneohtrix Point Never.
And David Gray.
Insight into where I was thinking about the name Babylon comes from that song.
106?
Oneohtrix. Oneohtrix space point POINT.
Oh my god, dude. Look at the first result. I mean, I'm logged in, but still, look at the first result.
Babylon. That's it.
Genius! My good website.
Love in the Time of Lexapro.
Lexapro, that's funny. That's the name of the album?
Babylon, it's for you I sang. Babylon in a sea of other things. It's not that I...
Oh, Babylon's New York City.
I wanted to be different, but ended up getting a tattoo. I like that line a lot. You try to be different from everybody else, and you just get a tattoo. Okay.
So true. Where is? Oh, you might also like any of these annotations. Good. No. Fine. It's good. Okay. But let's see if we can play it.
We're gonna get DMCA.
Oh, right. That's true. I think this might be like just a preview, and it also might just not work. So
this feature
anyway,
I gotta say, not to diss your site, but this listen feature on Genius.com has literally never worked for me, and no one I know has ever used it.
Yeah, maybe it broke or something.
It's very
but it was
funny.
really sick for a period of time.
It's
It
just
was
useless
it's like a really cool thing with, you give people the player and they go and sign up for Apple Music. But it was really funny because the original version of this, I don't think it works now. The original version would have snippets. So if you didn't have Apple Music, it would play like 30 seconds of the song. And so what we found was like people were just obsessed with playing the snippets. And there's a very famous American Office.
When it was snippets, it used to work.
Yeah, there you go.
The songs now it doesn't play anything, so now it's just useless.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I have Apple Music and I'm signed up, so it should work. But there's a I forget what song it is, but in the American Office, Michael Scott is like sad and he keeps playing the same snippet over and over again. And then Dwight says like you could just buy the whole song. He says I don't need the whole song, I just want a taste. And that, I think, is so true. Everyone was obsessed with these snippets. We had to kill the snippets, basically. They were too good. No one wants a whole song. And then TikTok, happened and so forth. So anyway, Piv, what are your last words?
Last words. That's always difficult, these last words.
Well, I'll say something to fill a gap while you think of it. None of you, I think, put the thing together when I said that I am using a new key light today.
Key lights.
It's this one, actually. No, it's not that one.
I am using my second monitor, and then I have MS Paint opened, and then I draw with MS Paint a new color over the screen, and then it changes, so I can change my colors like this. It's not the best light in the world, but honestly, I think it, pretty good.
This is what I have. Key. Give me a headache. Anyway, okay, now what are your last words, Piv?
Moody purple.
Oh, know something I thought about that could be interesting also, is that the first teams, we will have a lot of them. And then as it gets more difficult to get keys, for every team you will have every time less punks. That could be
smart.
interesting.
Yeah, well, we should even just try that to play around with for the next theme, because we can go anything. So you could really say it's got to be a 4 attribute that has these one, that has 3 of these, and then 1 is the only free attribute. Like go try, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But it should be quite different from this one, I think. That you really see the difference between the two.
Yeah, it's got to be feminine, or at least both. That was a big criticism. But this is a bandit, which embodies a certain universal thing. But yeah, we got to have the not just... Anyway, we'll figure it out. We got a lot of themes. We got a lot of punks. This has been episode 24. Are we about to say another parting thought? This has been episode 24 of the Capital 21 Babylon podcast. Today we are rebranding. This is episode 1 of the Babylon podcast. We're all Babylon all the time now. We are focused now on timeless art and also the game of chance and the intermittent rewards that come from that, and how to give people a crazy ride, but also introduce people to new NFTs, because let's be honest, they're just sitting there doing nothing. I have hundreds of them. They do nothing. So we're going to put them to use, and we are going to burn some gas, and that's called life. So get ready for that. Please give us feedback. There's a whole tech side to this thing that took me forever and no one cares about, but happy to talk about that. If you want to invite me on your podcast, if you have a tech podcast, a big audience, Diamond Contract. Otherwise, watch this space for more content about Babylon and timeless art. It's still a Capital 21 podcast. I joke. We're on Discord, discord.gg/Capsule21. We're on Twitter, Capsule_Capsule21. And also, we have our Finsta all Twitter account at Capsui21. So if you really want to if you're listening to this, then you deserve to follow that one too. So I'm Middlemarch, aka Tom. My co-hosts are Dovetail and Piv, and we are Capsule 21. See y'all in Babylon land.